Alrighty, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host, Trisha Gillis, and today is now day 16 on day 18 of the 31 Days of Horror. And for the final review today, I have my cat on my shoulders because she won't leave me alone. Um, and I'm reviewing The Cottage from 2008 by director Paul Andrew Williams. It is a British horror comedy about this small group, well, two initially, but three people who kidnap the daughter of this gangster in exchange for ransom. They just want money. One of them's trying to buy their mother's house. Another one's trying to buy a boat. And through a bungled job, accidentally stumble upon this like Texas chainsaw deformed inbred farmer. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, pretty straightforward film. Definitely takes a twist on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre aspect. Does take a while to get there. That's my first and really only major issue with this film. I'm going to definitely get into the good because I did really enjoy this movie. But I think the pacing in this film is a little off. Like the actual like cottage part with the farmer is like the last third of the movie maybe. It doesn't feel like setup. It feels like almost like a kidnapping comedy turns into a horror movie just really abruptly. It's just very odd pacing. But this is saved by the fact that this film is absolutely hilarious. Despite looking like a typical slasher movie from like every poster and everything about the film, and even the synopsis, this is a horror comedy through and through, and the horror and comedy are about 50-50 in this, because it does get very dark. There's a lot of gore, and it's surprisingly mean-spirited towards the end here, but there is also genuinely some, like, deep laughs to be had, especially during the kidnapping and setup portion of this. It's, like, mix of slapstick and very dry British humor, which I find really funny. If you're a fan of like Edgar Wright and stuff like Shaun of the Dead, this is a lot like that in a lot of ways. It may not be as consistently funny, but the jokes are, in a similar vein. So really enjoyed that aspect. I think the acting this is really good all around as well. Our lead, David, is played by Andy Serkis, who I think does a phenomenal job in this. He's very believable, very dryly funny. It's also starring Reese Shearsmith, Jennifer Ellison, and Stephen O'Donnell. I think all those three are central four people in the film. All of them do a really good job. All super funny. All have a lot of personality. They're all very well fleshed out in a short period of time. And the central relationship between the two burglars or kidnappers in the film, they're brothers in the film as well. Their relationship is actually very believable and very funny. It's like the glue that holds the film together. I really appreciated that. I really like the focus on the characters in this rather than the gore. I do wish the like horror aspect came a little bit sooner. I get that we had a lot of time with the characters to develop them, but I do wish some of that was mixed in with the horror aspect at the end here. But all in all, I think it is really good. I think the dialogue in this is really well written. The cinematography is really good. I don't know if it's a big budget movie, but it looks big budget though. It's very well done. And the gore, when it is there, it's really good. Like, for a horror comedy, it's pretty graphic and gruesome. So I was really impressed by that as well. This is one of those movies that's sort of fallen, I wouldn't say under the radar, but it's been kind of, in my eyes, it's a film that I remember being talked about several years ago that I haven't heard of since. Like, nobody has rewatched this that I know, and I only knew one person that had this logged on Letterboxd. But, man, this is a real little hidden gem. I gave this a 4 out of 5, and that's primarily because of the pacing, but if you're a fan of, like, the dry British comedy and, want something that kind of mixes that with, like, a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, give it a go. It's really good. I think the horror and comedy are both balanced really well. And away from the pacing, it's just a hell of a fun time. Even like with the poor pacing, I think it's really good. Like, there's not a singular part in this that I think is boring. It's just the change to horror comes too abrupt in my eyes. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Highly recommend it. It's on Tubi for free. Check it out. Super good. One of my favorite films that I've seen this month as like a new discovery because I didn't expect that much of this. This is like a late night. You're scrolling on Tubi and you're like, oh, that's been on my watch list for a while. Might as well give it a go. That's what happened to me. So, yeah, check it out. As always, that's it for today. Zero thoughts, zero endings, zero planning, and zero brain cells. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. I'll see you guys later. Thanks.